I went to school in New Orleans, and of course, we had high school counselors, and they were just focused on a select group of students. And I wasn't in that select group of students. So I figured, when I grew up, I would become a counselor, a guidance counselor, and I wanted all students to have opportunities, like equal opportunities, whether it's career, college, garbage truck driver. Like I wanted to include all students and not just the ones that they felt like had potential.
After I graduate from South Terrebonne High School, I plan on attending Nicholls State University for nursing. And I plan on getting my NP, which is a nurse practitioner, to become a pediatric nurse practitioner. And then once I go ahead and finish a few years, I plan on going back to school and go to FRANU and get my CRNA.
Abbie has an extremely positive personality. She's 100% a go-getter, super high energy, which keeps me on my toes. But I feel like the word that comes to mind the most is conscientious. Like, she wants to do well, she strives to do well. And even though she's had, a few setbacks in the elementary school level, like, she's learned to adapt, like, her way of thinking and kind of adjust to, like, what's good for her. Just to give you an example, she was studying for anatomy and physiology for Nicholls, and she was talking about the bones in her hands and things, and she had like a little, what is it, an anonym? What is it called? And like every good boy does fine for band, and she was pointing at this, that, and the other. It's just like she's visual, right? So listening and actually using that textbook, it's helpful, but for her, I feel like she's a visual learner. She found a way to adjust and like to persevere.
I have a very good family at home that really pushes me to go ahead and exceed in my schoolwork. They really appreciate all of the hard work I put in and with all of my grades and stuff like that. But what motivates me, I would have to say, of achieving my goal of becoming a nurse and to save lives for a living.
I would say the first memorable moment of Abbie, I'm sitting in my office, I'm talking to another student, and I can see her out the corner of my eye waiting to speak with me because my door is open, right? And as soon as I finished with the student, I walked to my door, and she was like, "Miss Fields, I went up 4 points on my ACT, blah, blah, blah." So like, she's jumping up and down, we're high-fiving, like we're both excited. The other counselors are like singing, we're dancing, because that's unheard of. The second one, she kind of hangs out in the guidance office just a little bit because she takes so many dual enrollment classes and AP classes. She had some free time. And she was sitting at the table kind of doing some work, and we were going over to Montague Middle to schedule the 8th graders who were going to 9th grade. And I asked her, if she would like to come with us to, talk to the 8th grade class, and she was like, yeah. So she came in to Miss Wesley's class, and it was like the kids were so interested in what she had to say about, high school, her experiences. She had their attention, and it was just a proud moment for me because I'm like, she's still a young adult. Like, I felt like they paid attention to her way more than they paid attention to me, so.
First time that I met Ms. Fields, I actually went to go talk, okay, not in trouble, but I had to go talk to the SRO, and this lady was a very nice lady, but she was a very short, intimidating lady, and I'm the type of student that if I ever get called to the office, I'm immediately panicking. So I got called to the office because I ended up losing my Chromebook charger because I let a friend borrow it, and we just lost it. So I was like, oh my God, like, I hope it's in the office, blah, blah, blah. So I go talk to this lady, and she's just like, well, if you can't find it, you're gonna have to pay this fee. So it's not a big deal, but I end up walking out of the office, and I'm starting to bawl. I'm crying my eyes out. And Ms. Fields is talking to other student at South Terrebonne High School. His name's Cody LaBeouf. And Cody is a very, I love Cody. Cody's very energetic, and they see me crying my eyes out leaving this office. And this is whenever we were not at South Terrebonne, we were at HL Bourgeois because of Ida. And anyway, I never met Miss Field, never even knew she existed. And she was like, hey, what, like, hey, stop, like, what's so wrong? And I'm just like, no, like, I'm okay. And then she's just like, oh no, you're not, come sit down, and stuff like that. And I'm bawling, hysterically crying. I'm like, it's okay, I'm okay, and stuff like that. And Miss Fields is just trying to calm me down, poor thing. And I'm just telling her about my Chromebook charger. And she's like, no, we actually have a Chromebook charger that got, like, returned over here, and it was my Chromebook charger. But I ended up meeting Miss Fields, and I was like, oh, she's gonna be an important person in my life, so.
I struggled with that question. High school, I wasn't the best kid at all. Discipline-wise, grade-wise, it wasn't me. School wasn't for me. But Miss Patricia McGuire Hill was my English 4 teacher, and she was the first person that actually said, hey, kid, you have potential. And I was like, wait, me? Are you sure? Like, I have potential? And she was like, yeah. And because of that, I'm like, oh, well, maybe I can go to college and do something, you know? The other person that I thought about is Mr. Graham Douglas. When Terrebonne High School had a position open, they had seasoned counselors, Ms. Pam Maye and Ms. Christina Felgu. I thought it would be a great opportunity to, you know, kind of learn how to be a real counselor under those people. So I interviewed with Mr. Graham Douglas, and he actually gave me a shot, right? So he saw something in me that I had some potential.
Miss Fields wasn't even my counselor, but I would go to her for everything. Because my junior year, I started going ahead and taking dual enrollment classes at Nichols, and she was a dual enrollment counselor. So I remember, like, I was with my 2 friends, and we would just go to Miss Fields. Miss Fields was like, hold on, I'm not even your counselor. But she would still answer all my questions, and she was just always there.